US springs into action just as Mujtaba unveils hidden drone army. Raising fears of a new unmanned warfare race? Trump's troops train robots to defeat drones. Is the US desperate to gain an edge against swarms of cheap unmanned weapons? 5 robots, 1 Bradley. America tests unmanned ground swarms, revealing a new battlefield strategy for future wars. Robots to help with reconnaissance, electronic warfare, and anti-drone operations as America prepares to counter emerging adversaries? Can Washington really win against Iran's cheap, mass-produced drones, as the US races to build its own robotic battlefield? America is boosting its arsenal by testing robotic swarms designed for potential battlefield use in future combat operations. US Army forces have reportedly tested FireAnt unmanned ground vehicles, or UGVs, deployed from a Bradley fighting vehicle. 5 FireAnt robots were reportedly carried by an M2A4 Bradley during a recent US Army test, showcasing a new robotic deployment concept. The 27-kilogram FireAnt is being developed to operate as part of an AI-enabled swarm, potentially allowing multiple robots to work together. The small UGVs can be configured for reconnaissance, electronic warfare, and strike missions, giving commanders several battlefield options. The FireAnt can also relay communications and provide situational awareness ahead of troops, potentially reducing risks during operations. The US Army is testing how Bradley fighting vehicles could transport and control robotic swarms during future battlefield operations. During an assault, FireAnts could move ahead of troops and take on high-risk missions before soldiers enter potentially dangerous areas. The robots could potentially enter dugouts before infantry moves in to clear them, reducing direct exposure during the initial phase. It remains unclear whether FireAnts can be launched remotely from the Bradley or must first be unloaded manually by soldiers. A squad-sized army unit has reportedly already operated 10 FireAnts during an earlier competition, demonstrating the concept at greater scale. FireAnts could also act as signal relays or counter-drone systems on the battlefield, extending their usefulness beyond direct combat roles. But the US Army is still refining FireAnt tactics, control methods, and swarm operations before the technology reaches wider battlefield deployment. Amid the continuing US war with Iran, Tehran has released fresh footage intended to showcase the depth and protection of its underground drone and weapons facilities. Footage circulated by the Geopolitics account on X reportedly showed Command 12 unmanned aerial vehicles positioned inside an Iranian underground military facility. The drones were seen lined up inside a fortified tunnel, before one UAV reportedly launched and accelerated through the enclosed passageway. The Command 12 is described by Iranian sources as the Iranian Army's first combat drone, designed and produced by specialists from the country's Air Force. Iran says the Command 12 can conduct combat operations using point-to-point missiles, while also supporting electronic warfare and reconnaissance missions. Iran's Command 12 drone has an overall length of approximately 5.4 meters, making it a relatively compact, unmanned aircraft. The drone has a wingspan of about 10 meters, providing the lift needed for long-endurance reconnaissance and combat operations. Its empty weight is estimated at around 220 kilograms before fuel, sensors, communications equipment, or weapons are added. The Command 12 can carry a payload of up to 100 kilograms, which may include surveillance systems, electronic warfare equipment, or guided munitions. Its maximum takeoff weight is about 450 kilograms, including the drone's airframe, fuel load, payload, and mission systems. At sea level, the Command 12 can reportedly reach a maximum flight speed of around 200 kilometers per hour. The drone's stall speed is approximately 90 kilometers per hour, the minimum speed required to maintain stable flight. It has an operating radius of roughly 1,000 kilometers, allowing it to conduct missions far beyond its launch site. The Command 12 has a reported one-way range of up to 2,000 kilometers, depending on fuel, payload, and mission profile. Its radio line-of-sight control range is approximately 100 kilometers, limiting direct operator control without relay or autonomous navigation support. The Command 12 can remain airborne for around 10 hours during a standard mission, giving it substantial persistence for surveillance or strike roles. The latest images of Iran's weapons facilities come as the United States faces growing pressure from depleted missile and air defense stockpiles after months of fighting. U.S. inventories of Tomahawk cruise missiles, Patriot interceptors, and THAAD missile defense interceptors have all been significantly reduced, with replenishment expected to take years in some cases. The Pentagon is seeking a new family of maneuverable hypersonic weapons designed to overcome advanced enemy air defense networks. The Strategic Capabilities Office announced the Offensive Fires effort in an August 21st notice seeking defense industry participation. The program envisions weapons with different ranges, boosters, and payloads, allowing them to perform varied missions against different targets. The Pentagon said the weapons would be designed to maneuver past sophisticated enemy air defense networks and penetrate heavily protected areas. The SCO scheduled a classified industry day from September 14th to 16th to brief defense contractors on the planned weapons effort. The briefings are expected to cover highly sensitive program details across secret, top secret, and special access classification levels. The SCO plans multiple Phase 1 concept development prototype agreements to accelerate research and development of the new weapons. The notice did not disclose funding levels, production targets, or the number of individual weapon programs involved in the initiative. The new effort is separate from existing U.S. hypersonic programs that are already being developed by different military services. Meanwhile, the U.S. said it was keeping its military option open after imposing new sanctions as pressure on Iran continued.
Is emphasizing two things: that we're a very different department that's open for business across the country. It's not just the defense industrial base, it's major manufacturers around the country that we want to get in the defense game. When you can do commercial and you can do scale and you can do it well, we need you at the Department of War. And secondly, to underscore how important the generational investment in our $1.5 trillion budget is. The President's completely committed to it, and we believe between now and even before the election, but also through a lame duck, that we will get every dime of that. And the reason we've focused so much on it is this moment requires it. The nature of the threat around the world, the deferred maintenance previously, if you look under the hood, I don't know what the previous administration was actually doing. And so we're having to reinvest and restart the economic engine, the defense industrial base, at speed, at scale. Everything I talked about on that stage is real. It's a main effort. If we want to stay ahead of our adversaries, we've got to have companies like this one moving faster, and we've got to open the aperture for even more companies. So thanks for coming out to Oshkosh as an example, and we'll be doing a lot more Arsenal of Freedom events. I'll take a few questions.
I had a question on Iran. Just can you give us the lay of the land? What's our current posture right now with our overseas operations, and what do you hope this threat of economic sanctions will do to Iran?
Well, it's great to see the Treasury Secretary today. We've been in full coordination with him on the economic fury and all the pressure that he can bring to bear. And we know that Iran can't handle it. Ultimately, their economy is in a spiral. They also know that we control the Strait of Hormuz, that our blockade is ironclad, and that oil is flowing through ultimately. And you've seen some of the numbers. Iran can't run anything through. We can. The world economy realizes that. And so they made a big bet on controlling it, and they can't. The devastating things our military did to their Navy and their ability to sense and see and radars and missiles, they still have some capabilities, but it's nowhere near what it was at all. And so we can protect the shipping going through the straits and allowing oil to flow. More economic pressure only ensures that Iran really has, the only choice they have is to come to the table and actually talk about their nuclear program, which is what the president has demanded.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.